I want to share with you today a little story about something that has happened in my life recently. This story is such a beautiful reminder that you don't have to be ready right now for the things that you want to create in your life, for the ideas that you've had about the life that you want to live. You don't have to be ready right now. The distance between you now and you living that life that you have the idea that you've had the ideas and the inspirations and you've been dreaming about, the distance between you now and that version of you is your life experience. Life is going to prepare you. The moment someone has an idea about something isn't the moment that the person is ready to actually live that idea. I'm going to tell you a quick story about an experience that I've had recently that has just showed me this completely. So, the end of last year I kind of started to, and so many of you have probably had this. I've just started to not want to live where I live anymore. Like I would just walk around and just be like, I'm over it here. I don't want to live here anymore. I want to move. I want to move and I want to live somewhere else. And with that idea that I don't want to live where I live, I started feeling stuck where I live. I started resenting where I live. I started to feel all of these negative feelings, thoughts and feelings and emotions about where I live. But that was when the idea was planted in my mind about living somewhere else. And so I decided to renovate a camper van so that I gave myself the free, because I didn't know where else there was for me to live. I had no idea. I just knew I didn't want to live here. I had no idea about where, when, what, why. I had no direction, nothing. So I decided to renovate a camper van. And then a friend came into my life who also had a camper van. And she started inviting me to go to different spots that she would camp. And so I started to slowly explore different places. And I fell in love with a particular place. But when I started falling in love with this other place, I still didn't feel ready to sell my house, to buy another house, I remember talking to my friend one day and saying, I feel stuck where I live right now. I feel like I'm just like, I really want to live here, but I just feel stuck and tied to my old house. If I could go back to the me sitting there telling my friend how stuck and how much I hated where I live and da 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 and complaining about it, if I could go back to her in that moment, I would say to her, you don't have to be ready right now. You just have to be enjoying the fact that you're on this journey. I couldn't see the journey at the time. I'd met this friend. It was a coincidence. She had a van. She was taking me places and it was nice, but I can only see this looking back. At the time, I was just in it and I was just resenting where I lived and the path hadn't become clear and I felt stuck where I live because for me, moving house was so daunting. I've never moved from a house to another house before, having lived in the house for as many years as I've had my current house. So it all just felt daunting and I just didn't feel ready. Then I one of my siblings put their house on the market. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll just put my house on the market. And I kind of just got inspired to put my house on the market. And then, I had some viewings of my house and every viewing I would just felt like I was playing a game. I was like, I don't really know if I'm going to sell my house. I don't feel ready. I just feels like I'm kind of wasting everyone's time. And then I started getting offers and they weren't the right offers. But slowly I started to think to myself, actually, wouldn't it be nice if I actually got a good offer for my house? Like, wouldn't that be nice? And then, lo and behold, pretty much the next day, unexpectedly, I had the offer that I'd always said to myself, if I got that offer, I'd sell my house. And so there I was suddenly in this whole new level of the journey that seemed impossible. And then I started the journey of finding my next house. And, I started viewing other houses. I still felt like I was scared to leave my current house. But every house I viewed and fell in love with and put in an offer that didn't work out, I kind of started to feel more like, oh, I actually really feel like I could have been ready to have moved if that offer had got accepted. It felt like a game. It felt like I was playing a game. I was putting in offers and then I was seeing how I felt about it. And, the offer wouldn't get accepted. And I'd be like, okay, that's cool. I kind of didn't really want it in the back of my head anyway, and blah, 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 blah. And then this kind of went on for a little while. But all the while, something was going on inside of me. I was being prepared. I was being slowly turned into the version of me who was moving house. And if I look at the energy, the difference in the energy from the start of the journey to the moment when I actually found the house that I've now found, there's an energetic difference between that version of me and the version of me that I am right now. And life gave me everything I needed along the way, even though it felt like I was stuck and it wasn't happening, and I was never going to get over these mental blocks of feeling like it was too much, and I felt like it was never going to happen. Every single thing that life gave me, every experience slowly changed me, slowly turned me more and more into the version of me that is now living in another house. And so I put in an offer for a house that I really liked, and I really, really liked this house. And I was like, this feels like the one. But in the back of my head, I still just kept thinking, I still just don't know. Then that offer didn't work out. And then a week later, I went to the place where I'm looking for houses, and I was meeting a friend, and I went and sat in a cafe for about 20 minutes. And I just sat there thinking in the courtyard, in this beautiful little courtyard garden of this cafe. I just sat there thinking, wouldn't it be nice if this was my garden? And if I lived here, and I just closed my eyes in this cafe garden, and I was just imagining just if that garden was my own garden. Quite literally, 6 days later, a street behind that cafe that the estate agent said her whole time of being an estate agent, she's never seen any of those houses come on the market because they're these kind of old Victorian houses and they're in an amazing location. They've got just amazing stuff. One came on the market 6 days later, and exactly a week to the day, possibly even to the minute, of me sitting in that courtyard garden as the version of me that was actually finally ready to actually find a house. I put an offer in on a house where the courtyard garden backs onto the very courtyard I was sitting in doing that visualization. So I can basically see the courtyard from my own back garden of the garden that I was doing that visualization. And I look back at this journey, and it just is such an amazing reminder that the moment the idea gets planted in our mind, yes, the idea might feel too big for us, might feel too scary for us, might feel all of these different things. If we can just relax and remember that the reason we've been given the idea is because the path is already made, and it's just a case of us changing our energy to be the version of us that already has the thing. Looking back, I can see how much resistance I put on my own path, how much overthinking I kept doing, and how much doubt, how much it could have been so much more of a simpler path. But I can see how the life had to give me all of these different experiences so that I would give up the resistance, so that I would change my perception of what was going on, so that I would become. It turned me into the version of me energetically that I needed to be to allow what I wanted to come through. And the moment I changed my energy, the moment I gave up, the moment, when that house that I thought I really wanted, when that didn't happen, I actually said to myself, well, I'm not going to control this anymore. I'm going to surrender. Whatever happens, happens. And then that's when I went to that courtyard garden, visualized that it was my courtyard garden, and now I own a house that's courtyard garden backs onto that courtyard garden. It's just an amazing reminder about how much we are in control, but not in control in a way that we shouldn't try and control things, but we are in control in a way that the more you can just surrender to the natural flow of your life, the more you are going to receive life in the greatest possible potential for yourself. I truly believe, and I've been experimenting with this over the past few years, because I've always been wanted to be like a conscious creator, and I've always put in so much effort, and I've overthought things, and I sometimes get in the trap of feeling like I need to control my thoughts and feeling like I need to control outcomes, and I can be quite controlling when it comes to creating. But the more I've been practicing just letting go and just watching and just reminding myself that it's already been created. It's already done. The fact that I'm even being inspired to want something means that there's a version of me that already has it, or it wouldn't have come into my mind. It wouldn't have been sent to me as an idea. And the more you try and control the outcomes, the more we use our physical mind to try and control how it's going to happen, the more we're limiting the ways that life can actually design pathways for us to receive things. Like I never ever I didn't even dream about one of the houses. It was probably the only house in the area I was looking, the only street on the area that I was looking, that I didn't think to myself, I hope one of these comes on the market, because it's such needle in a haystack kind of situation. Like they're houses that never come on the market. So I hadn't even bothered to dream about one coming on the market. And lo and behold, life had that as the perfect option for me. And it was all aligned and ready for me to receive it when I was ready. And the moment I was ready, I received it. And I think that's how it happens for us. If you have a dream, any idea you've had about your life, your ideas of what you're capable of when you're, sitting in your house doing your everyday things are so tiny compared to what you're actually capable of. And your life experience is what gets given to you to reveal your capabilities to you. The time distance between you and whatever it is you want to create in your life, your wildest dream, is your ability to become the version of you that already has it. And when you become that version, you will simply have it, because you'll be aligned with the chance meetings or the random opportunities, the people, the places, the ideas. You'll be aligned with all of those things when your energy, when you are being the version of you that is capable of receiving all of those things. And your life experience is simply your life preparing you in any way it can, in any way you're open to allowing it to, is preparing you more and more and more, and molding you into the version of you that you've been asking to become. And the loophole is that the more we can surrender and become it energetically, practice being the versions of us that already have the things that we want. Practice being, the version of you that's doing those amazing things that you're dreaming about. Practice actually being a version of you that is ready if they knock the door tomorrow. If someone knocks the door tomorrow and offers you that dream you've been dreaming of, be the person that's ready to say yes to whatever it is they would be offering you. And then the door will knock. You will be ready and the opportunity will come. It's just a case of preparing us energetically. That's what life is, an energetic preparation for us to become more and more and more of our true selves so we can live more and more and more of our true potential. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Lots of love.